Hey, there we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Lauren. Welcome to my home office. If you've never been here before, you are in for a fast-paced delight, although I have to say I'm a little tired today, so we'll see how fast we go. We're talking about closing. December's the perfect time to do that. And like always, we are chock full of tips and tricks along the way. So let's tune in and get this party started. I'm going to start by sharing my screen. Here we go, everybody. 4 easy tips. In fact, I've got even more than that. A few scripts you can steal as well. We're going to talk about closing more deals. If you have not heard of us before, this is your first month with us. I have started a company called Factor 8 16 years ago. I started this company to fill the needs of those virtual sales skills that I couldn't find for my own sellers when I was a sales leader. So we work with BDRs, AEs, ISRs, account managers, customer success, inbound, outbound. But our main lane is outbound business to business. We specialize in top of the funnel. We also train reps how to become managers. So here's a little look at our curriculum against the sales funnel. Today, I'm going to be sharing some tips from a 6-pack of classes that we have available at thesalesbar.com. It's called the Close More Deals Rep 6-pack. It includes 6 classes. I'm sharing some little tips and tricks from all of them. It is on special to help us close end of year. So if you don't have a training budget, if you're here because you're trying to figure out your own development or low cost, no cost for your team, now is the time. It's going to be 40% off through the end of today. If you like some of today's tips, go invest, spend some pocket money, get these classes so you can get the tools, the scripts, the reminders, the real recorded calls, the examples, the activities, and turn these great ideas into actual habits on the phone. Yay. So just so you know, the promo code is closing. It's 20% off through the end of the month. It's 40% off today. Go to thesalesbar.com. And this is where I'm stealing most of my tips for today. If this is your first sales shot, we do this every single month. Here are the next 3. You'll see we're focusing on some manager skills coming up. But if you're a seller, prospecting is the one for you. You want to sign up for the one in February. That's at factor8.com/shots. All right, let's jump right to some value. Are we doing okay, everybody? All right, awesome. Here we go. Boom, I'm going to start with a bonus. Immediate value, steal this script and use it every single day through the end of the year, especially if this is your fiscal year close like ours. Okay, I literally texted this to Charles today. He called and said, LB, we're looking at quarterly sales training for next year. Get me a proposal. I want to make a part of a certification. I texted back, is this something we're trying to use this year's budget to do, Charles? It is a kind question to ask. Lots of folks use it or lose it. There's a reason why it's our busiest month in December. That might be the case for you as well. Here are 2 other versions of this. If you're in a discovery call, if you're in a lead meeting today, something even top of funnel, try this. Hey, talk to me about your fiscal year end and your budget cycles. Is this something we're going to pull into this year, or are we working right now to budget for next year? These are ways that don't sound like, give me your money now, I have a quota, but more, hey, I'm trying to be respectful of your timing and I'm trying to help you out. Hey, are we trying to get any of this billed this year? I just sent this to Dave, another prospect. He's in contract. We're trying to get it done. And I said, all right, what are we trying to do? How do you want me to work billing? How much of this year's budget are we trying to spend? Are we wanting to bill any of it this year? Cool. So steal these, use them all the time on every single call through the end of the year. I guarantee you're going to find at least one who's like, oh, hell yes. Thank you. Could you bill this all up front? And you'll be like, me and my commission check. We're having a good day. All right, here we go. Our real sales shot number 1 of 4 is I want to reframe closing just a little bit. Closing is actually helping. It just doesn't feel that way. It feels pushy. Am I right? I know I'm right, because guess the number. This is your first quiz of the day. Open those chat fingers, type in a number for me and guess. Let's play along. What percentage of sellers, pardon me, don't close according to the sales board? So, right, how many of your colleagues don't regularly close? So, open up chat and toggle that to everyone so you're not just chatting with me, with hosts and panelists. Anyone care to guess? In fact, I'm going to make this easy for you. Type in a 1 if you think it's under 50%. Type in a 2 if you think it's over 50%. Ooh, most are thinking it's under 50%. Here we go. Two's the right answer. It's over 50%. 64% don't close. We're not asking for the order. But here's the thing, folks. Buying's fun. Look at her happy little face. I love it. Buying things is exciting. It's the needing it, the shopping for it, and the shitty salespeople that isn't exciting. Okay? Shopping largely sucks. It is our job as sellers to help them along. Here's another view at this. Okay? This is the buying funnel, if you will. There's lots of different versions of this, but it starts with, maybe I do have a problem. Sometimes that's because of your call, SDRs. Well, let me just do a little research on this, and I'm gonna evaluate the alternatives. Okay. And a lot of times deals go dark here. I just don't do anything about it. Why? The pain wasn't worse than the status quo. Something else was a bigger priority. I ran out of time. I didn't need it that much. All of these things happen, right? So, right here is where you help them shift. You can help them get out of analysis paralysis and actually go solve the problem. When we're not closing, we allow this shopper, this buyer, to kind of stay in the red screen area, right? The evaluation. We just sit there and we get paralyzed and they go dark, right? Been doing this a minute or two. You know this happens. So when we help them decide to make a decision, we're actually helping them get to that happy state where the product or service is in their hot little hands or company. Okay? Help them get there. If we don't, here's another quiz for you. Time to redeem yourself. What percentage of customers, why do I keep saying that, closers, will actually close themselves? So again, 1 for under 50%, 2 for over 50%. What do we guess? 2. Over 50% will close themselves if we don't ask. Allison's coming in with a 1. Allison, you are correct. In fact, folks, take a look. Sorry, Kirko, just gotcha. 10. That's pretty shocking, isn't it? These two numbers combined, holy crap. More than half of our sellers don't close, but less than 10% of our customers will close themselves if we don't ask. And I get this request all the time from sales leaders. LB, we need help with closing around here. We need help with closing. And I think it's that confidence issue. We don't want to be pushy, icky salespeople, so we don't close. So, folks, closing is helping. Let's not let them get stuck in the buying signal. Let's get them to happiness faster by closing. One last look at this reframe. When you buy coffee, do you walk right up and start ordering? Or do you actually wait to be asked? Ever been stuck behind the person who can't make up their mind? Like you're wishing the barista would force a go, no go on the situation here. When you walk up to the counter and they say, what can I get started for you? They're not thinking, ooh, I don't want to be pushy. That's them closing. All right. So ask the question. It's okay to ask for the close. And here's your homework on this, folks. I want you to find 5 to 10 deals you can call today and help them close. These could be in the late stage, right? Maybe you're going to call and ask a question. Hey, we're running out of calendar. Is this something we want to close this year? But it could even be somebody earlier stage. I know you're reviewing the proposal. I just want to plan my time well to help you meet these goals. Is this something you want to implement right away in January? Call people. In fact, try some even earlier. You could have had a lead come in yesterday, and they came in yesterday because they're hoping to get this shit done this year. So give it a try. Use some of the lines at the beginning and think of it as a public service outreach. Let's go close some deals. All right, you ready for sales shot number 2? Closing can happen anytime. You really honestly may close a brand new prospect before somebody who's in contract. So I just want to wonder, do we have any BDRs, SDRs right now? Type a 1 in for me in chat if you're a BDR, SDR, or you lead a team of BDRs, SDRs. So you're really more top of the funnel focused. All right. Hey, Leona, good to see you. Lindsay, I think you were answering the other question because I know you, girl. I think you're an AE, right? In fact, are you a manager now? You may have to chat that in and let me know. All right, so we don't have a ton on here, so I'm going to go quickly through this. But the point is, we can even close a BDR call, okay? Buying signs, buying signals, these are critical. Listen for these. When somebody is asking a product question, abandon your demo, abandon script, close for the meeting. A price question, competitor question, delivery question, functionality question, something about the next meeting. All of those are saying, ooh, I'm interested. Stop what you're doing, book the call for the next stage with the AE. If you're the AE, stop the demo, stop the slide share, and ask them questions, but answer the question, and then let's start doing some trial closes. Let's see where they are. For my BDRs, SDRs, Leona, hey, at the top of the funnel, you're also looking for any kind of positive feedback. Oh, yeah, I love them. That's great. Hey, well, let's book you a meeting with them. Or glimmers of change, discontent, or interest. Sometimes it's just somebody who loves being on the cutting edge of what's new and what's the latest and greatest out there. Any of those, you're just looking for a little lever that you're going to slide and say, hey, because of this, let's book you a meeting. Okay. In fact, everybody else who's full cycle, we can close anytime during our typical sales process. Pardon me. In fact, we're going to show you in a minute that you're supposed to close every one of these stages. So buying signals are key. We gave you a list of all of them. All right, here we go. You're going to vote yes or no, Y or N in the chat. Should the BDR close this? Sometimes it's easier to get closing concepts in our head when it's not our example and our role. So let's help Leona on this one. The customer says, yeah, I'd probably rate our current provider an 8 out of 10. They get it right most of the time. Should Leona close for the meeting? Yes or no? A Y from Leona, yay! Kirko agrees, absolutely. Yeah, there's a glimmer of discontent there, isn't there? We didn't hear 10 out of 10, it's perfect. They get it right most of the time, awesome. Well, it probably won't hurt you to look at some options at this stage. Let's see if we can get you the perfect 10 out of 10 score. Let me set you up with somebody who can answer more of your questions. All right, if somebody's asking how much is the monthly cost, we know that's a yes, hell yes. How about this? Things will probably continue this way, at least until the leadership changes. That's interesting. I heard this the other day. That's where I got it. Should we close this one? Oh, yeah, Kirko, you're a definite yes. In fact, you gave it the double tap. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. There's something changing. Okay. The lever here is, ooh, sounds like there's some change afoot. Let me help you get prepared, right? Why don't you get ahead of this, learn a little bit about what's available? Okay. They don't have to be sitting there with a credit card in their hand to take that next stage meeting. Or how about this one? Somebody's asking about, are you using AI in your solution? That's somebody who's asking a product question and somebody who likes to be on the cutting edge. And folks who are on the cutting edge, the close here is, looks like you're somebody, sounds like you're somebody who really likes to stay abreast of what's happening in the industry. So let's help you get some more information. You can come kick some tires and learn about what's new. That's a reason to hit the meeting. Cool. I just want you to know, sales shot number 3, when we close, we want to be careful. Right? The reason we don't close, more than half of us, is we don't want to feel like icky, pushy assholes. All right, that's just the way it is. So let's be careful in how we do it because nobody likes feeling sold and nobody likes to feel like you're desperate over there with quota breath. So we've got this class for BDRs, SDRs especially, that's calling the transition to close. But this can be important for anybody. When you're having a really good discovery like session, and then suddenly you hear one of those buying signals, we can get stuck, right? We're like, what do I do next? So here are some samples you can steal, right? Well, the next step of what we would normally do here is blank, 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 right? Or maybe it's one of those questions. You know what? My AE could probably answer this better for you. Or my sales engineer is the next step. We're in the middle of a demo. You're getting great product questions. Stop the screen share and close. What's the close for? The next step. You know what? That's a fantastic question, and you've just gotten above my pay grade. Let's set a follow-up. I'm going to bring my sales engineer in. Let's see what other questions we have ready for them. Tell me more about what's missing in your current solution, why you asked that question, whatever the case may be. Okay, don't let that go and keep doing your same old demo. That's a buying signal. The third one's a very similar example. Hey, let's get your questions answered, and we'll do some prep for when that leadership change does come. I'm going to give you one more bonus tip on closing, whether you're closing for your AE meeting, closing for a sales engineer, closing for the proposal, right? You've stopped what you were doing and listened to the buying signal. So you're in tune, you're keeping them engaged. I've told you 7 times, but I'll tell you one more time. We stop the screen share at that point in time. Okay, this is getting personal. We want to look at each other. I'll show you another reason why in a minute. At this stage, we've done our transition. Then we go back and clarify. Okay, we want this to be a really strong next meeting. Our tie down worked. We're ready to move forward. Let's get a little more information, right? Let me ask 3 quick questions to help me set my sales engineer up. Let me ask 4 clarifiers so I get this proposal exactly right. All right, I'm going to book you with Joe, my AE, for the next stage, and I want him to be on his game. Tell me, make sense? Okay, BDRs, if you're booking meetings that aren't showing up or aren't qualified or people are rejecting, the clarification is going to help a lot. AEs, if we're closing for that next stage and folks are going dark in here, they weren't all the way interested. You didn't nail it down all the way, and these clarifications can help you. All right, next step, sales shot number 3. Closing, frankly, is a confidence sport. And I think muscle memory is what helps us the most. You know what I'm talking about? Why basketball players shoot 1 billion free throws before they get to the game? That's what closing can be. So I'm going to recommend that you find this is getting annoying, isn't it? I can't seem to stop. I can't hit a free throw. So I want you to find your go-to close, and I want you to practice the hell out of it. I want this to come out when you're at a restaurant, you're accidentally closing the waitress, bringing you a drink. Okay. The key is to go too close. Now, in the class that we're going to cover, it's in the 6-pack called Closing Confidently. We walk through each of these and practice it and show even more examples. I got to go kind of quickly through these in our interest of time today. But these are the ones that work most often in virtual sales. And I'll give you some samples of each of them. Want to find more, hear them in action, go get the class. It's the question. Hey, does this seem like a good fit? What do you think? Assumption. All right, we'll get this nailed down. That will let us get started next week. What's the next step in the procurement process? Well, we're assuming they're moving forward. The which pitch, okay? Most people have a good, better, best. You've walked through your proposal. You're at this final slide. Which of these delivery options work best for you? Which of these is a better match for your budget? Okay, I'm still using a question, but I'm saying A or B, not in or out. How about this one with the timeline? Honestly, this is probably the one I use the most. Okay, all right, you said you really wanted this training to start before end of year. That means we probably need to ink by this week. Working backwards, it means we need to. When's the ideal time this starts? Okay, now working backwards, that means we probably need to get it to procurement by. Why don't you tell me more about that process? One of the smartest questions you can ask, it is of course related to closing. We have to understand the procurement. Add-ons, people do love a deal. If we can close this year, I can guarantee that we'll throw in the live training on how it works. If this is something we can get to and really commit to getting it done today, I'm going to throw in the extra blankety blank, blank, blank that was one of their hot buttons. Okay, I got a bonus or two for you. Guess what? Want it to close faster? Send it over signed. You got to use a signature tool. And I'll tell you, I've been on the other side of this a lot. When somebody sends it to me and says, okay, just sign this and send it back, and I got to print it, walk to the printer, sign the thing, get it to scan, which is at least 3 trips back and forth to the home printer. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then send it, remember that I scanned it, attach it, go find it because it didn't save to where I thought it was. It's a pain in the ass. Use the e-signatures, folks. And when you send it over signed, it increases the close rates by over 20%. I think that's pretty cool, right? Guess what else is cool? Turn off your webcam when you're asking them to close. I love that. Thank you, Gong. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Sure, you've done the demo. Stop sharing the slides now so you can see my face better. Love it. Okay, I've got one last shot for us. This is key. This is key. If you are sitting here now with 20 deals that have gone dark, this is how you prevent it. Always, always, always bridge to the next call. Yep, this is in our 6-packs as well. Every single step of the sales cycle. I mean, is there anybody here? Type in 1 if what you do is a 1-call close, because you're lucky. In fact, some of us used to have 1-call closes for our product a few years ago. Cycles have gotten longer, right? And more people have gotten involved. Anybody else see a 1 in the chat? No, it takes multiple calls. So tip number 1, if you're new to virtual sales, stop feeling like a failure when you're not closing on the first call. Sometimes we're lucky just to find the contact on the first call. This is from our call goals class, to qualify them, where it might take 2 calls to get discovery done. Might take 2 to get proposals done. But at the last 5 minutes of every one of those calls, bridge to the next call. Now, here's a pop quiz for you. Using these, you're going to type in a Q, a D, a P, an N, or a C. Which stage is the most critical to close? The qualification stage call? The discovery call? If you think it's discovery, type a D. If you think it's proposal, type a P. I think it's the final close to the dollars, type a C. I love it. I've got a Q on the board. I've got another Q on the board. I've got a C, a Q, a D. This is fun. Anybody else want to vote? Cool. I love seeing these come in. Our most common answer is Q, which is our first call. And y'all are right. This is an older study, but I thought it was really cool. Gong did this study. It shows that close rates decline by over 70% when we don't outline the next steps on the first call. Okay, that's us closing the first call. So even though you're just in qualification, you're just getting to know each other, walk through what the typical process is. Teach them to buy from you. Jeffrey Abrams, who did the Challenger, that's a huge part of his research. Teach your buyers how to buy from you. Here's what we typically do in stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Let's set up stage 2 right now. Make sense? Here's what those can look like. When you close out each call stage, I got to tell you, there's a psychological hack that you can use to gain mind share between stages. So the first thing you do is bridge it, but the second thing you do is close them for a commitment. This is from our Getting Deals Moving class. And we taught this 2 weeks ago in Atlanta at EIS. And one of the senior leaders was in there trying it. So when we come on site, we do live calls during training. We practice and learn a skill, we role play it, then we go try it on the phones, right? And this guy came back, hot damn, it worked. It was really fun. So when you get them to agree to something in between each stage, even if they don't do it, you are gaining mind share. So you could close them to just attend the next meeting in qualification. In discovery, you could close them to bringing another stakeholder to the call. In proposal, you could close them to go check their contract. I think you guys get it. So the bonus chaser is make sure you grab Getting Deals Moving to learn about this top hack. It is probably the number one thing you can do to speed your pipeline velocity. All right, so I'm going to remind you folks with 5 minutes left that these classes, this is what's listed in the Close More Deals AE 6-pack. Proposing with value, closing confidently, objections, it's part of the process, getting deals moving and bridging, what I just talked about, and then some bonuses on gaining referrals. In fact, that's when you bridge the final call. Let me check in with you in a couple months and see how it's going. Let's book that call right now. So then you go and get it. Folks, you can also find other 6-packs out at thesalesbar.com. So here's a couple to take a look at. Okay, the Close More Calls, that's for you, Leona, top of the funnel. Close More Deals, that's what I just showed you. Closing New Business are folks who are going through the entire cycle. So you can see those links there. If you're serious about investing in making sure you hit your damn quota this year and next year, try getting real training instead of just the fun tips. And for anybody who is serious, you get that promo code that is an extra 20% off just today. Use the promo code CLOSING. You want to go grab some more information, take a quick picture of this in 3, 2, 1. I also want to let you guys know that this link will set up a meeting. If you don't have professional sales skills development in your company, now's the time to budget for it for next year. Or maybe you got a budget surplus you're trying to spend this year. Grab this and it's going to make the next available meeting with myself or my CRO, Ted, and we're going to help you budget out what to do to make this happen next year. It is not right for you to have new hire training and no more sales skills training. But a lot of companies' enablement departments got cut this last year. So if you're not getting regular development of your sales skills, you're missing the opportunity to be at the top of the leaderboard. We're happy to take the meeting with you to learn more about how we can help, or set us up and introduce us to your people in training who maybe are training you, but may or may not have all of those cutting edge inside sales skills. We hear that a lot too. If you are a regular at my sales shots, Lindsay, I know that you are. I appreciate you very, very much. Anna, I've seen you here before. Allison, I've seen you here before. If you've got an SKO, RKO, GKO coming up and you want to make sure it's a good time, I've got some spots left in February. You can hit the QR code there. That was me in Nashville last month. It was a lot of fun. And finally, I just want to give you this one last time. If you'd like to book a meeting to talk to us about training, it's not going to be a hard sell. We'll take commerce off the table. You just need some help figuring out what to budget, what good looks like, how you should be doing it. If you're a sales manager and you want to take care of your team next year, now's the time to plan for it. We will keep it short and simple because we know that you have a year to close as well. All right, folks, I'm in and done at 2 minutes under the hour. If you like these fast-paced tips, that's great. Our training is fun like this too. I'm going to stay on in case you have questions. You can chat them into me. Otherwise, let's go call those 10 leads. Let's get them closed this year. Talk to them about their budget. Close forward for the next meeting. And go take the class to find your go-to close. Thanks for being here. Happy holidays, everybody. We'll see you in January.